jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Bad Sports, what's good, everybody? Salute. Big shout out to those who out there in the workforce, man, getting it in, providing for yourself and your families, and blessed to be doing it. Salute to you. Big salute to the ones who support the channel, the WCS battalion that's in the building in the live chat supporting the channel. I appreciate what you do each and every day, man. You know what it is. Fight week is upon us, man. We got the Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos. All right. We have the Stephen Fulton, Brandon Figueroa. We're going to talk about that. And also, you know, if you would check what I put on YouTube, you have the Devin Haney fight, December 4th, I believe. Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz. So y'all keep your eyes open for that. You know what I'm saying? Those some big fights that's coming up. Not to mention December 11, Michael Williams Jr. on the undercard of Vasyl Lomachenko and Richard Comey. Michael Williams Jr. be facing John Bowser. So keep your eyes open for that. Look, when I tell you that's going to be a heavy fight card, man. It's going to be a heavy fight card, December 11. But let's get to my boy Teofimo Lopez, man. Current the lightweight undisputed champion, and he's stepping in there with the much anticipated fight versus George Kambosos. Now, there's been criticism of my language in describing Teofimo Lopez as undisputed. I get it. All right, I get why certain people are not willing to change. They're pretty much stuck mentally in what they've been used to seeing over the decades, right? And they're not really being receptive to the change on where boxing is going. And just like when we didn't have a 4-belt era, it was less than 4 belts. All right. At one point in time, we didn't have the WBO. You know, it's changes is going to take place all the time. So when that's the case, we have to totally understand that this narrative that's out there about the franchise belt is going to change soon. Because the more divisions that Mauricio Sulaiman insert this belt into, people are going to start, you know, media outlets are going to start mentioning it on a regularity. I guarantee you that. They're going to start mentioning these belts on a regularity, man. And the franchise is going to be one of them. So I consider Teofimo Lopez to be an undisputed champion because that's the route and direction for which the belt system is headed. Now, if there's still difficulty in understand it, then I can put it to you this way. It's unfortunate that the prestige the WBC super title has always had is being placed in like a chain of command or a ranking system of being a secondary belt. It's not that way in every division, but I promise you it's going to be more franchise belts implemented in the upcoming year 2022. And then it's going to become a regularity with the media outlets. They're going to begin to mention Teofimo and other undisputed champions that has the franchise belt. All right. So moving past that. All right. All the way back in June, when we initially knew that Teofimo was facing George Kambosos down in Florida, then, you know, Floyd swooped in like he knows how to do. And somehow, some way, man, the Teofimo fight versus George Kambosos was relocated. You know what I'm saying? It was rescheduled. Boom, that date is gone. And then the next date come up. Allegedly, Teofimo had COVID. And then the other date was canceled. This is turned into a boxing debacle, to be honest with you. It is turned into somewhat of a circus trying to wait on these two to step into the ring. And this is strictly a mandatory fighter. This is not anybody that we consider T.O. to be ducking or the fight was too much to be made. None of that shit. It just came down to a point where the boxing politics didn't allow the fight to happen in certain cases. Boxing politics being Triller. Shout out to Triller. I like their fight cards. I'm definitely going to be headed out that way real soon. You know, Triller made media headlines by the 6.1 purse bid that they was able to complete. And even myself, I was like hyping it up. I was like giving Teofimo Lopez his plaudits. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this is great, man. He's negotiating the Lomachenko fight. Now he negotiated somehow, some way, convinced Triller to win the purse bid. Well, that defaulted. That fell out. The second highest purse bid was Matchroom. So that's where we at right now. I have to give a shout out to Eddie Hearn for picking up the ball on this and doing an outstanding job, man. Doing an outstanding job on his press conference. Like Eddie Hearn's, just paying attention to how he run things, how he mediates. I got to give him a salute, man. And I'm not an Eddie Hearn fan, but I got to give him his salute and handling that shit pretty decent. If you didn't see already, Andrew Charles on deck, man. Say WCS salute, bro. King Mitch, come back. What up? This fight has a birthday. Shit should have been happening. Nobody even give a. Hold on for a second. Y'all hold on for a second. Okay, we back, people. We back. Let me get to this live chat. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? WCS salute, bro. Appreciate you, Andrew, for pulling up. King Mitch, appreciate you for pulling up on deck. Come back, what up? Let me read this comment again. This fight has a birthday. Shit should have been happened. Nobody even gives a fuck about it. For what I'm hearing, the Hulu still hasn't been sold out yet. So, yeah, you kind of right on that, man. People, I think they give a fuck about it, but they ain't just really paying close attention to it as a priority right now, especially in the holiday season. Man, it's in like a bad time. I don't know, man. Like if he was fighting Lomachenko again in a rematch or anything like that, yeah, we talking different type of energy right now. Earn with Hearn. Jay Ocho on deck. What's good with you? Say combat salute. Salute to you, Jay. But yeah, this is a big fight, man. And the the back and forth verbal sparring between Lopez and Kambosos has been everything you asked for in a fight, especially with this type of delay. You know what I'm saying? The press conference today was fire. I finally got my credentials approved, so I'll probably be heading out that way in a day. So go out there and check out Teofimo them. And when it comes down to him defending his belts for the first time, I think people probably just waiting, and everything to see if the fight actually gonna make it to the weigh-ins. And once the weigh-in happens, we get to see the fighters and everything. And people might be, gravitate to it a little bit more than they are right now because just like Mitch said, people kind of put it off to the side. You're talking about 3 delays now, 3 postponements. 3 postponements now. People are impatient. You was riding an all-time cloud, and that shit just start precipitating. And people's like, damn, his shit keep on being rained out, man. So now they're looking like, okay, the fight coming up, but it's Thanksgiving. Am I gonna pay attention to this Thanksgiving weekend? Whatever. I don't know, but the energy between these two is right where it should be. Real talk. Like, Kambosos look like the bigger fighter. You know what I'm saying? Just to put some physical some physical dimensions into the media. Kambosos look like the bigger fighter. It looks big for 135. Tio is just a tad bit shorter, but Tio may be on weight already. Anybody who don't look on weight already is Kambosos. Kambosos look big right now. Look like he might be a junior welterweight, to be honest. We all seen how big Josh Taylor looked when him and Terrence Crawford crossed paths. Like Josh Taylor looked big for 40. So Kambosos, his energy seemed right. There's a lot of animus between both teams. Man, I'm talking about venom. And it's all gonna play out in the ring, man. It's finally time for these fighters to touch gloves, right? So let's get to some of the details. Of course, this is for all Teofimo's belts except, the WBC. So we're gonna get to that, right? Lightweight world champion Teofimo Lopez is 16-0, 12 knockouts, and Kambosos is 19-0, 10 knockouts. All right. So we know the experience with Tio. At 14 fights, he started his ascension. You know what I'm saying? Fighting the Kambosos. I mean, fighting Nakatani rather. Then he fought Richard Comey. In his 16th fight, fought Lomachenko. So he's been doing what the hell he's supposed to do, man. He made an awesome run to get where he needed to be, and it has to be respected. No matter what anyone says, you have to respect the fact on the 3 fights that he took in the IBF and the fact that Nakatani was ranked above him. You know what I'm saying? Richard Comey was the champion. And then, of course, Lomachenko was the unified champion. So you have to respect their entire deployment that he was able to complete, period. Boxing News 24 said Teofimo 24 will be making a long-awaited title defense of his WBA, WBC franchise, and WBO lightweight titles he captured 13 months ago against Vasyl Lomachenko, October 2020. Here's some of the quotes from them, okay? Kambosos mentioned, "I'm ready to take everything he's got in New York," said Kambosos during the final conference on Wednesday. "Let's see what he does after the first round and when I'm still standing there." He says he's hungry, but he's lying. We're ready for war. The only thing I can say about when he say what he's going to do when I'm still standing is the fact that Teo and his dad has been talking about a first round knockout. So if you're standing there after the first round, kudos to you. I mean, it's bound to happen. It's not like Teofimo Lopez has this Gervonta Davis like power, and he's been getting knockouts. Even Gervonta Davis doesn't knock out his opponents in the first round, but he is a motherfucking heavy TNT dynamite in both hands type of hitter. Teofimo goes on to say he can be hungry, but there's a difference between hungry and starving. "I'm starving," said Teo. "I'm a lion and I'm ready to tear this guy up." Hearing that Teofimo is starving. Mentally, if he is starving, man, kudos to him for having that type of mentality to stay hungry. Kudos to him for winning all the titles and still having that inner desire to be starving for success, bro. Like, not everybody is wired like that. That shit is amazing if it's indeed true. But what he did say, you know what I'm saying? Who can sit up here and devalue the hunger that Kambosos had? We're talking about Kambosos. He never won a set of titles like that, man. This would totally change his entire life. If he defeats Teofimo Lopez, it's a rematch clause in there anyway. I know it has to be. They're not doing the Lomachenko deal and going there with no rematch. So Kambosos has everything to gain with being hungry. It just depends on his hunger. If it settles in real nice to the fighter that he's in there with, who's already been at the higher stage. And when I say the highest stage, I'm even talking about Nakatani too. I'm talking about the Nakatani. I'm talking about the Richard Comey. And then, of course, the Lomachenko. Kambosos has a huge plate ahead of him, a heavy plate ahead of him, man. That's a lot of hardware that's on that plate. So he's definitely going to be hungry. He has to be extremely hungry for 12 freaking rounds, people. Kambosos is about to shock the world. Teo drunk eating chili cheese fries. J Ocho, stay on Teo. Hey, one thing I like, hey J Ocho, man, you keep that shit consistent with Teo. For real, you keep it consistent. If you ain't gonna support him, you know you ain't gonna support him. You keep it consistent. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tyrone Spencer's on deck. So Spencer, you're trying to dictate and instruct me how to speak. Undisputed is just the terminology. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to scripture. Undisputed, for me, maybe I'm one of those people that look ahead on certain things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just some guy that wake up in the morning with nothing to do. Like, I read what I read, and I totally understand when people say they have dreams, it's all based from imagination. If we didn't have imagination, it wouldn't be any growth at anything we ever did in life, because we would just go off what we currently are experiencing at this point. What we currently experience is all we will have to go off of. So Undisputed, in a sense, is something that I feel that's an important language in describing this belt system right now, because it's going to be that real soon. more and more people are going to start using the implementation of the franchise belt when it comes to Undisputed. Seriously. If Vasily Lomachenko there, Spencer, would have defeated Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko's name would have been up there on Showtime as the undisputed title holder. Just because Teofimo Lopez has it, they don't want to recognize it. I totally understand and respect the fact that Devin Haney has a WBC world title. But Devin Haney them is not to blame. Mauricio Sulaiman is the one that enacted the franchise belt when Canelo, of all people, was the designated first recipient of the franchisee belt. So me saying undisputed is absolutely true to me, because that's the way the language is going to be later on. The belt isn't going anywhere. So I'm basically asking you all to look forward ahead of time to what the language is going to be. And when they start posting this first ever undisputed in the franchise area, is Teofimo Lopez. And whoever else falls beneath that scale, they will also be included, just like they was mentioning Jermaine Taylors and the Josh Taylors. You know what I'm saying? The Alexander Usyks, Canelo Alvarez, all the four-belt era, Bud Crawford. They was up here mentioning all these people that's part of the four-belt era. That's gonna change, and they're gonna be mentioning the franchise belt holders along with the unification for Undisputed. I like Kambosos' attitude so far. I never really heard him say too much until recently. He seems game to me. He does, man. Look, I ain't mad at Kambosos for talking your shit, man. Don't sit up here and lay down and talk your shit so people can know and pay attention to the fight. Them Australians, man, they tough, dog. Them Australians are tough, man. And I like the energy Kambosos is giving. Damn, I ain't see Combat try to sneak that undisputed title in. Now y'all know Haney got that WBC. Hey, man, Haney does have the WBC, dog. But you have to understand the separation. Once again, the separation of interpretation is not the fact that Haney has the WBC. It's the fact that Mauricio implemented the franchise belt to supersede. He implemented that belt to supersede. It wasn't a freaking public poll that was put together and asked, did the boxing fans want this to happen? No, that was something that Mauricio Sulaiman implemented for Canelo Alvarez, and then for Vasily Lomachenko, and then Teofimo Lopez, and then Juan Estrada. Now, if George Kambosos defeat Teofimo Lopez, he will be the next. That will be 3 franchise belt holders at lightweight, and you're trying to tell me that's not where the boxing language is headed for this franchise belt? It's absolutely already there. It's just the people are in denial to use it. Sulaiman changed his mind for good. He said Haney is a true champ. Haney is a true champ, all right? But you have to understand where Mauricio is going with this narrative. He has received so much pressure from the left and right of people inquiring and wanting him to verify, clarify, whatever you want to verify what we're talking about now. So what is the franchise belt again? He started it. He was the one that came out initially and said, if you have the franchise belt, the champion cannot lose it. The champion cannot lose it. He said that. So if that champion was fighting somebody and they lost, they didn't lose the franchise belt. Now we know that particular challenger can petition for the franchise belt. And if they win, they now become the franchise belt holder. We know the history. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Shout out to Knockout Boxing TV on deck. They are fighting for the WBA, WBO, and IBF titles. The WBC franchise belt is now on the line Saturday night. They did say that up there, didn't they? The IBF, WBA, WBO lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez and Kambosos quickly. Teofimo, 24, will be making his long-awaited title defense of his WBA, WBC franchise, and WBO lightweight title he captured 13 months ago. This is the article that I'm reading. Teofimo, 24, will be making his long-awaited title defense of his WBA, WBC franchise, and WBO. And let me read a little bit further. That's what I'm looking at. They do describe Teofimo Lopez as the IBF and WBA and WBO champion. And that would go along with Devin Haney being the WBC super champion. And that's something that's been out there for a while. I don't have an issue with that. That's descriptive language. And that's ownership that Devin Haney actually has of the WBC title. So there's no distortion in that. It says Teofimo, 24, will be making his long-awaited title defense of his WBA, WBC franchise, and WBO lightweight titles. That Showtime card way better than what the DAZN got going on. Showtime's been putting on some pretty good cards, man. Spencer's, saying facts. Good. I mean, if you believe it, cool. Thomas, I see you back in here. Thomas on deck. I saw everything you had to say early on, man. For whatever reason. Appreciate the donation, though. Appreciate the donation. You seem like you was in a hurry to instruct me how to run my platform. But once again, bro, I'm not upset. But I'm just letting you know what your energy was like earlier. You know, you was giving me a donation, which I appreciate, but I'm not greedy like that. If I can give it back to you, I would. But you was trying to get me to see that, a certain individual was in the chat. And I'm like, okay. At the time I was busy doing something, but appreciate you for pulling back up, bro. Spencer said, WCS, I understand your logic, but to me, that time is not here. Can't be when President came out and cleared it up. When WBA, WBO, IBF recognize it, I go on with it. Until then, it's just a token. The franchise belt is not a token, man. You know what I'm saying? It's very relevant. It's very relevant. And, people that have made changes and inventions in life and just did things that people just thought that couldn't be done. It's all about they had a thought process. And that thought process was from the past to the current and to the future. All that combined together, they came up with something. And this is a fact that Mauricio Suleiman also played games with, placating certain situations. So it takes the damn energy off of him. That's Mauricio Suleiman. He's been around since his father, dog. He's been around since a kid. Can you imagine your father being in this game and you getting all that knowledge and game and then you take over? Mauricio Suleiman, he has his drive on how he says, it's very political with him sometimes. 1 minute, he want to say that Teofimo Lopez, it's video out there. Teofimo Lopez is a supreme champion. And then he turned back around and he has to recognize Devin Haney as the WBC champion. Why? Because I will have to accredit Bill Haney for going out here working his ass off and doing this YouTube shit over and over again, whether it was good or bad, and putting pressure on Mauricio Suleiman from the voices out here on YouTube. I have to accredit him and other people, but primarily him, because he was out here grinding, low crawling, and taking a whole lot of heat for that shit. At the end of the day, I definitely have to give you my opinion on that franchise belt, that Mauricio Suleiman totally intends to keep this franchise belt growing. That's his intent, to continue to multiply. D Hodges, OG on deck. How you feeling, bro? What up, WCS and chat? Salute, OG. Appreciate you. I'm looking at the article DAZN posting. I'm looking at BoxRec. I'm looking at ESPN. They're saying Lopez and Kambosos are fighting for the WBA. If that is indeed the case, cool. Cool. If that's the case, fine. That's what they fighting for. I know I'm not fighting for it. Teofimo's the man at lightweight. I ain't taking that from him. I just want him and Haney to fight so this can all be cleared up. That's if it goes down. I want that fight, so it can all be cleared up. It's all about if Teo, wants to fight. Team Lopez wants to fight. Everybody, can want the fight outside of them. You know what I'm saying? But they have to want the fight. They have to first get this win against Kambosos, and then it has to go from there. We all want to see that fight. Devin Haney, he deserves to be in a position where he can fight for the unified titles. He does. Unfortunately, due to Mauricio Suleiman's actions, he's basically put a belt out there that he's implying he set the ruler. He did. Team Haney did. Mauricio Suleiman set that out there. And he made it a point to say that the franchise belt supersedes that of the WBC super title. So that's a confusion that's filtered down from Mauricio Suleiman, no one else. Sir Ken on deck. How you feeling, bro? Welcome at Sports. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chats. Smash the like button. Appreciate you pulling up there, Sir Ken, in the building. Back to what I was saying. I'm reading the article from Boxing 24, Boxing News 24. Cam goes on to say, I'm every in New York City, said Kambosos, during the final press conference on Wednesday. Let's see what he does after the first round when I'm still standing there. That's a big deal because Team Lopez said they're going to stop him. Going on to Teo's dad, Lopez Sr. said these guys overwork their ass because they know they're going to fight somebody dangerous in my son. And that's the big mistake they make, said Senior. When he goes in the ring and gets the devastating knockout of the year, and I'm saying it here, and I'm never wrong. I have to give Teofimo Sr. credit, even though he's a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? I have to give him credit for his predictions. Even when I was covering them before he even had a title, way back when, I knew what route they was going, the WBC, and I knew what route that they was going to the detour they was going to take. I knew before it even hit the media. I thought it was a smart move, and it ended up working out famously for them. Seriously. If you look at my catalog, I do speak with David McWaters, Split T Management. So, I'm able to talk about some things. So, it is what it is, man. If he goes in here and he's able to meet the prediction that his dad gave, then kudos, salute again to Senior, because he's kept the same energy since way back when. He said his son was going to be a world champion in this amount of fights. It never wavered. T.O. knocked out Richard Comey in 15 fights. Boom, he's champion. Now he goes up here and fight Lomachenko, and he keeps the same energy, and T.O. goes in there and defeat him. He says, come November 27th, this body, Kambosos, is going to be running. And that's the only thing that's going to save him from the first round, because he's going to go right after him. Nobody can beat my son. Our style is untouchable. These people are going to be forgotten, said T.O. Kambosos camp said, call Senior a little chihuahua. Lopez said, I'm not going to talk no more. I can't wait until Saturday. I know what my son is going to do. I see it every day in the gym. Kambosos mentioned, you don't see what we do every day in the gym. And Senior replied, You got no pop, bro. Teo said, this is the biggest fight to date, but I do what I do. Get out of there. I'm going to humble this dude. These right here, belts are staying. So I really don't want to play the audio to what happened in the press conference. The reason being is the zone is very strict on the algorithm. I'm just being honest, you know. I'm not going to get fixated on the Haney Teo fight happening or not. Both these guys are young and in top of their game, and there's plenty of matchups I'd be happy to watch. I'd be happy to see the finale, so to speak. That'll be considered the lightweight finale. But also we have Gervonta Davis that's over there too, that's going up here, establishing himself as a PPV fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be a fight people want to see because it's very dangerous. But Devin Haney has the belt. So people want to see the grand finale. They want to see everything, wipe away, erase all the motherfucking question marks. We want to see this Devin Haney and Teo fight. Why? Because there's just so much out there, a gap that Mauricio left out there that us as media and general boxing fans, we converse about all the time. And then we're still going to have confusion because Mauricio Sulaiman has said this in this video, said that in that video, and he kept going back and forth, back and forth. It's a lot of confusion. You know, don't let me go to the damn bookmarks now. I can pull up the video. Where's that video? You made me go look up the video. Where's that video at? Let me go get my video. It's because Mauricio have confusion going on in the boxing community, and it shouldn't be that way, man. There's no confusion that Devin Haney has world championship. That's no confusion. All right. The confusion comes into place in identifying Teofimo Lopez as the undisputed world champion, which I consider him to be undisputed, because right now people are just not willing to surrender and say it because they feel like they want to hold on to something that's being phased out. Come on, man. You want to hold on to something that's being phased out because, this is what you've seen throughout the years. I've seen shit too, but also seeing it change. No, we're not talking about Corey Spinks. When he had the welterweight titles, man, things have changed, bro. Why are y'all unwilling to sit up here and say, well, I don't want to pay that no mind because it deals with one fighter? Things are changing like they did in the past. They are changing. You need to just get used to it and stop holding on to old shit. It's a lot of things that's changing. Just like you got to go up to NYC and you got to have your vaccine freaking card. You're going to sit up there and tell them, well, I don't think I need that because the last time I was up here, it was this. I ain't need no vaccine card to get in there. Guess what? You take your ass up there now with no vaccine card, you ain't getting in a damn thing. Times are changing, man. I cannot find that video right now. I should have just, kept it close.
You're a clown. You're the world clown. The world is laughing at you.
No more, bro.
You are a
talk
clown.
no more. I can't wait for Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been waiting a long
Wait.
time. Since June
gonna be
19th. Since June
Listen,
19th,
man,
I've been
I know
waiting.
what my son is gonna do to you, man.
Well,
I
I'm
see it
waiting
every
for
day in the gym. I see it every day in the gym.
And you don't see what we do in the gym, but you do
All
say.
right.
You do say.
I like this press conference, man. It has a lot of heat to it. You know what I'm saying? The other press conference that's even close to this, in my opinion, that still falls a little short is a Tony Harrison, Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? For real. Both of those pressers, man, gave the old school freaking energy and intensity that we used to see, you know. I just want them to be active. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. He's talking about he's there. Yeah, vaccines to get up in New York. To get up in the fights, you gotta have your vaccine card. But I got the vaccine a couple months ago. I'm thinking of going to the Garden December 11th. Third coast, the vaccine card is psychological warfare. Well, that's not my fight right there. But let me make this clear about some people may be in the chat or whatever. That listen, I need to make something perfectly clear about life in general. And I'll repeat this about those of you that's coming over here to support and those of you that may not. Check this out. If any one of y'all come up to me and attempt any bullshit, I'm gonna do what I know best. I'm just letting you know because it ain't that serious to me. I'm not saying, but I'm giving fair warning. If it has absolutely nothing that you can hold me accountable for nothing, I'm talking about something big. I'm talking about something that's something that's huge. You know, somebody stole from you or whatever. You come with this rah YouTube shit to me in person, man. I'm gonna defend myself the way I know how. I'm just letting you know why people always want to kind of breach these lines and take shit for granted. That's for any one of you niggas in my motherfucking live chat that's not here to support me. You can show up wherever you feel like, but don't say you're going to show up with bad intentions to a date, then I'm going to show up. It ain't like I'm going to be out there by myself anyway. I'm just letting you know, if you ain't got shit to do with it and you want to tag team on somebody else, be willing to accept the repercussions and consequences. I'm just saying, I'm not sitting up here putting up with none of that. We ain't doing no bullying over here. I don't care what emails y'all send or none of that shit. I'm past it. For the niggas want a damn tag team off some grown man shit that don't make any sense and then want to take it to the streets like I don't have a family, like I ain't gonna defend myself. Okay. I'm gonna show you in the most strictest manner that you can possibly understand. So you niggas that like coming over here tag teaming and the shit that ain't your fucking business, if you didn't support me in the begin with, don't support me now. I'm just getting that disclosure out there. You don't have to support me. I got cats in the chat that support me all the time, and I know all of them verbatim. So you come over here and you just want to disrupt and then drop shit on the damn live chat and make it seem like I'm concerned. I'm not, man. I'm not concerned, bro. Y'all be taking this YouTube shit too serious for people who got a life going on and people who's worrying about more important shit. I've been through this before. So we got Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos, man. I can't wait for that. That's going down this weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely going down this weekend. And it's Thanksgiving weekend, and that's what it is. I'm looking forward to that fight. Real talk. And if you look in my descriptions on YouTube, you'll see what I put over there in the details. I put some upcoming fights. All right. You have November 27, New York, the Zone, and then 27, you have Brandon Figueroa versus Stephen Fulton. I'm definitely looking forward to that fight too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be a banger right there. Shout out to cool boy Steph, man. You want to talk about boxing outside of your regular skill set that he was able to do with Angelo Leo? Ah, shit. Dude. I was impressed with Brandon Figueroa too against Luis Nery. I was impressed with Figueroa because I was there at the fight. I forgot the name of the fighter. He was touching him up pretty nice, man. But shout out to Figueroa for getting that shit in. They're going 12 rounds for the WBC junior featherweight title and Fulton's WBO junior featherweight title. And of course, you have Aleem on the undercard and Eduardo Baez 10-round junior featherweights. And the Russell clan is in the building. You know what I'm saying? You got Gary Antonio Russell versus Alejandro Santiago, 10 rounds bantamweight. And last December 4th, you have Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz, 12 rounds for Haney's WBC lightweight title. That's gonna be fun. That's a fun end of the year closer right there. Sir Ken, it don't have nothing to do with you, Tyrone. I'm just saying for emails and some shit that I'm seeing. Don't have nothing to do. I say what I gotta say. I'm just putting it out there. For my channel to just have small amount of people on it, not even a huge amount of viewers, I don't know what people get in their head that, you know, I'm an easy touch. Just come over here and fuck with me because you feel free and you got time to use. I don't know what told you that. I don't know what gave you that impression. Because I ain't out here fucking with y'all. I don't know why you over here trying to act like, oh, it's time to sit up here and talk shit and goddamn fuck with Scotty. I mean, I grew up from the old days where men handled shit on their own. Like, you didn't have other grown-ass men just damn tag teaming in and shit to get a point across, man. Don't send me no more questions. Oh, no email. I don't need to hear that. None of that shit, bro. Andrew say Figueroa Fulton is a nice matchup. I'm definitely interested in Antonio Russell, man. You know, Antonio Russell is the middle one. And then you have Antoine Russell. He fights at junior welterweight. He's the youngest. And of course, you got Gary Russell. He's at featherweight. So you have, you know, the brothers at different weight classes, man. And they're very solid family, man. Shout out to the Russell clan, man. They're very solid. I just wish that Gary Russell Jr. would be able to fight a bit more active than he was in the past. You know, that's unfortunate. I hope his brothers, they don't have to go through the same obstacle course as Gary Russell Jr. for real. I really hope not, bro. I really hope not. Seriously. I really hope not. I hope Antoine and Antonio are not held up like Gary Russell, like their older brother. Now, and you know, Gary Russell still has time in his career to make that shit happen, but I hope it happens pretty soon so we can see him in the ring, man. Shout out to the Russell family for real. And I didn't mention really, but the Triller card is popping off this week too. So let me give you a little background story. I'm gonna talk about Michael Seals. Michael Seals, you know, he fought. He's a boxer down here. That's fought on Top Rank, and he had fought for the title at one point in time, and came up short. But now he's fighting on the Triller card. Triller is known to put on boxing versus mixed martial arts. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So Michael Seals is over there. He's fighting Michael Perry, who was a UFC fighter. Stand-up type of dude, very tough. Really went to war in some of those fights he had in the Ultimate Fighter Championship. Now he's fighting Michael Seals. Michael can bang. He has very solid power. And I really believe they're gonna bang it, man. They're gonna bang it out for real. They're gonna go to war out there. I don't know how is it gonna look for Michael Perry because he's a mixed martial artist crossing over to boxing. But for Michael Seals, He's been in the game for quite some time, man. And he might stop Michael Perry. You know, he might stop him. In my opinion, he might stop him. You know, so shout out to Michael Seals over there for Elite Boxing. Shout out to you, man. Hope you get that win. And then, you know, we can talk about Frank Mir versus Kubrat Pulaff, y'all. Frank Mir, former UFC heavyweight champion. Yes, the same Frank Mir that fought Brock Lesnar. He's stepping in there with Kubrat Pulaff, y'all. The same Kubrat Pulaff that's been in there with some of the big names over here. You know, naming, lastly, Anthony Joshua. So Kubrat Pulaff gets to go in there against a fighter like Frank Mir, who has pretty decent boxing. I was pretty impressed seeing him fight down here. Like, I was like, damn, Frank Mir has pretty decent hands. But we cannot sit up here and ignore the fact that Kubrat Pulaff, being the experience that he has over here with boxing, he should be able to come out on top against Frank Mir. But Frank is no easy go, man. I'm telling you, he's been working on his hands for real. Like, we're not talking about his jiu-jitsu game. Dude is on a whole nother scale with that. This is a boxing match. And I believe it's going to be, you know, in one of the same size rings they usually, which is pretty small, to be honest. It's just no way I can see Kubrat Pulaff losing this shit. I'm just being honest. I don't see him losing to Frank Mir. And of course, shout out to Triller. When he was on the fight card down here, I had a chance to interview Frank Mir. And, you know, shout out to him. Good dude, very educated, very astute, combat sports practitioner, man. Salute to him. Yeah, Andrew said he rocked with the Russells. For sure. And also, I want to mention December 4th, you have Jessica Mccaskill versus Victoria Butos. I would say Bustos. 12 round for Mccaskill's WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF women's welterweight title. And you know, she's the one who defeated Cecilia Brakas. So, you know, I think that fight should be a pretty decent one. I'm gonna be honest. I think Mccaskill's style reminds me of Ricardo Mayorga. You know, she has a wild freaking style, but she's game. She brings the intensity. If you know, I would like to see Clarissa Shields just be able to drop weight without talking about a butt. Just drop weight and go down there and fuck up Mccaskill, because her hands are just too fast for Mccaskill. But in the process of losing all that weight, I'm just curious to know how Clarissa Shields will perform under those conditions. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, how would she perform under those conditions, being that she is the better boxer than Mccaskill, but dropping all that damn weight? How will her body respond once it begins to hydrate? If she's able to even lose the weight. But it would be great for her to go down there and unify a third division. You feel me? That should be on point, bro. And of course, December 11th, ESPN, you have Vasyl Lomachenko versus Richard Comey. You have Jared Anderson versus Alexander Talinko. Xander Zayas versus opponent to be announced, a 6-round junior middleweight. They're really moving Xander this year. This would be his sixth fight this year, I believe. This would be Xander Zayas' 5th or 6th fight this year, bro. And making a quick return along with Xander Zayas is Nico Ali Wash. And his opponent will be determined. Keyshawn Davis, as you already know, Keyshawn Davis and his brothers, you know, they making a splash right now. definitely get behind Keyshawn. As you know, that he was removed from the Olympics at one point in time, turned professional, picked up 3 victories. Then they brought him back to the Olympics to contend, and he ended up earning the silver medal. Every time I seen Keyshawn Davis in person, man, good dude. Seriously, he got a lot of potential. He can box his ass off, man. So keep a close eye on Keyshawn Davis and his 2 brothers, man. Them dudes are like 6'4". I'm 6'3". They're like 6'4", 6'5", man. They up here at these weights, lightweight and junior welterweight, I believe. Crazy to be that tall and that lower weight class. So keep your eye out for them, man. And then you have Kelvin Davis, which I was just talking about. He's going to fight on that card on a 4-round welterweight edition. And shout out, I know a lot of people, the jury's still out on Xander, but I seen him fight, and he ain't motherfucking scared, dog. Like, Xander gives you that command presence. He gives you that it factor when it comes to rising stars in the sport, rising prospects, so to speak. I don't want to keep on calling him a prospect because he's picking up wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really picking up wins. And when do you stop calling him a prospect? For real. Like, when a fighter fights on TV, it's difficult to continue to calling them a prospect because they taking fights on in front of everybody. Just like Jahad Tucker. Jahad Tucker is 5-0 right now. It's going to be difficult to continue to call him a prospect. He keeps on coming on TV and winning. You're going to be like, nah, we done seen him since his debut. So that's what I'm saying about Xander Zayas. Like, Teofimo Lopez picked up his championship at 15 fights. And I can't remember people calling him a prospect. So you're going to have to take that same type of perception when it comes to Xander Zayas, y'all. Like, dude walks around like he knows who the fuck he is and what he is. I'm serious, dog. He walks around like he know who he is and what he is. Jared Anderson, definitely he's the future U.S. heavyweight contenders. Okay, we don't have many that's in the shoot outside of Deontay Wilder, the former WBC world champion. We're looking for the next U.S. heavyweight champion, and Jared Anderson's continue to stack up wins, and he's in that shoot. We still have Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He's going to be making his return to the Four Corner Square, and we have who else we got out here? Hold up for a second. Let me see. We also have Trevor Bryan, too. He's the WBA regular title holder. It's still a world championship. I'm curious to see who he's going to be fighting next. It was rumored that he was going to fight Tyson Fury or someone. I'm not sure who he's going to fight next. You know what I'm saying? From what I'm hearing, Tyson Fury isn't planning on fighting Dillian White. He does plan on returning to the ring February, March. And whoever that opposition is, we're going to be looking forward to see who it is. For Dillian White, though, I really can't feel empathy for him. You know, he's been treated like the stepchild of the heavyweight division, for real. Like some of the things he's been a part of, like the freaking Oscar Rivas situation, and just, the way he kept going at Wilder, just the way he handled himself in general. I don't know what it's about with him. I don't know. This man is one of the only fighters I know at that level, that weight, has been a motherfucking journeyman at the number one mandatory. Like, he's just been there forever and a day, man. It's like being in the orphanages. You think you're gonna get adopted? No, it's not gonna happen. I know we told you, but it's not gonna happen. That's almost like damn Abney Yildirim finally getting his shot at Canelo. That shit was like 2 years in the making, right? And he was coming off a loss. Anyway, there you go. The biggest disappointment of the boxing schedule, though, is the fact that now we have a confirmation that Emmanuel Navarrete, a fighter that I like Emmanuel Navarrete, right? He's going to be stepping up against Oscar Valdez. I do consider Oscar Valdez to be him ducking. I do put him on the Duck Masters Coalition with Ryan Garcia and Canelo Alvarez. I mean, they're sitting up there popping positive on tests, and then he gets to come up here and selectively be given the opportunity to fight a guy who never fought at that weight class before. I would have rather liked to see Shakur Stevenson keep the momentum going and fight somebody like an Oscar Valdez. Just think about it. Oscar Valdez has won the title. He's a two-weight champion, and also he can come in here and he came in here and defended, and he stepped in here and tried to unify against Shakur Stevenson. He was the one up there mentioning that shit. He was damn clarifying it and remediating. Yeah, I hear Shakur Stevenson calling me out. I hear this, and this. And then all of a sudden, Navarrete comes out. He comes out the hat. He has provided the opportunity to do the same thing I'm saying Shakur Stevenson should have had. How did Navarrete just pick up a belt and he provide the opportunity to move up to another division and get a title shot? How does that work? Who's responsible for that, Mauricio? Like, who is responsible for that shit? Shakur Stevenson had to wait until Jamel Herring and Carl Frampton finally take place. Shout out to Jamel Herring for going in there, shutting down Frampton, and then moving on to finally fight Shakur, in which he took a battering. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur came a two-weight champion, but yet he's unable to build on that momentum and carry that over to Oscar Valdez for immediate unification. While people are still invested. Motherfuckers are invested in this shit off the performance Shakur Stevenson just gave against Herring. The only thing people are looking at with Oscar Valdez is the fact he popped positive and he was still allowed to fight. The levels was increased. So when it comes to the black fighters that's in this sport, I hope they get the same motherfucking waiver. I do. I hope they get the same waiver. I hope our own people don't go up here and slander the fuck out of them and say, "Oh, you're a drug cheat. You did it," without looking at all the fighters who have gotten passes. You know what I'm saying? Who just been given absolute passes for this shit. Pulaff should show no respect. Watch mirror for honor of boxing. Yeah, man. You know, it's I can't go against Pulaff in this particular fight. I can't go against him. Some solid young talent coming up. Future of boxing is looking good. I agree. It is some solid talent coming up. Real talk. And more so, like I mentioned to you all previously, right? We don't know what Canelo's going to do, but if he does vacate the titles, cool. I'm even hearing that Teofimo Lopez may vacate the 135-pound lightweight titles. There's rumor out there. You know? Does it hold any merit right now? We have to see as the months progress into 2022 what he does. But people would be a bit bitter if he doesn't fight Devin Haney after George Kambosos and he vacates. But at the end of the day, it's not going to affect him one way or the other. I'm serious. It's not going to affect him because you have to look at it on how many divisions that Canelo Alvarez unified but never was undisputed. It's not going to make a fucking difference, people. Look how many divisions Canelo unified but never became undisputed until 168 pounds. So you really can't put emphasis because you want to see a certain fighter get the opportunity. Yes, we want to see Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney to wipe away any motherfucking doubt who's the best lightweight. The reason why we want to see that is because the belts are solely in ownership, majority of the belts of Teofimo Lopez, and then you have Devin Haney that holding the coveted WBC world title. These fighters have written their own story in the lightweight division, and people want to see them close the chapter. That's real talk. White had pads and loaded gloves. If I was Rivas, I would have pressed charges and sued. You know how it is, with that. Does a fighter really want to damn waste his money? Did they give him something behind the scenes as hush-hush money? You never know, D. Hodges. You never know what happened behind the scenes, bro. Yep, I agree. It's not right. Valdez should be fighting Shakur. I just think it's right because in actuality, right? Both fighters earned their championship belt, especially Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez, man, he flatlined motherfucking Miguel Berchelt. And he defended his title already. Kudos. But now you go on the side of Doug Masters Coalition because you was calling and basically confirming that Shakur Stevenson wanted to fight you, and now you fight Navarrete. That's BS, man. J.A. say Bob Arum don't care about black fighters. Hey, if he doesn't care about black fighters, man, something needs to be happening about what we see going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know a lot of people are saying that because of Terrence Crawford and so forth, but we want to wish Terrence Crawford the best coming off his dominating victory moving forward. I mean, he didn't stay there. And from what I'm hearing, it might be MTK Global. L-Dub in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. Y'all be sure to check out L-Dub's channel. L-Dub's Boxing. Check it out. At Andrew Charles, what's good? Did you get the December boxing schedule? What's Canelo contract status? Has he fulfilled his end in that mega 400 million contract? I doubt he's fulfilled. I'm just guessing. I doubt he's fulfilled that because not too long ago, he became a free agent. You know what I'm saying? Not too long ago. So we need to see, what actually happens next. Because he was able to get Callum Smith, Billy Joe Sanders, Caleb Plant. And then he's talking about facing Makabu up at cruiserweight. Hey, we'll see. He should be somewhere up on there. I don't know how many fights it was, but goddamn. It can't be 4 or 5 fights, dog. There's no way in hell that could be 4 or 5 fights for that bag. I thought Valdez got a gift decision versus the Brazilian, in my opinion. Well, Valdez has been known to get hurt in fights, but one thing I cannot extract from him is his will and his toughness, man. Valdez, when he fought Quigg, he fought with a damn busted jaw. I got to give him his props, man. I got to give Valdez his props in that. But also, I could take that shit away that he popped dirty. Valdez popped dirty, dog. What are you going to do when some of these black fighters start popping dirty? What are we going to do? Are we going to sit up here and hang them out? Like, what happened when some of these black fighters this one of your favorite fighters start popping dirty? You going to call him a dope fiend, a drug cheat, and all that other shit? Jarrell Miller should be coming back in 22. I know he put it out there. He's going to be back in 22. I'm not sure. I have really been keeping up with Jarrell Miller because he is one of those guys who is just, he's full of something. Like Jarrell Miller to be caught with that many pads, it just goes back to when I was seeing him fight. And I say, how somebody that big is continuing to have that much energy. I was just disappointed in him, dog. I really was. I was disappointed in Jarrell Miller popping 30 for that many pads, dog. It's just, you don't even see black fighters like Jarrell Miller popping 30 like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them being a repeat offender like that. Now, in other sports you do, but in boxing, I just really haven't seen a lot of black fighters pop positive for multiple damn performance enhancing drugs like Jarrell Miller. Unless y'all can find me some other ones that's been repeat offenders. I can't call it. And Jarrell Miller's a big boy too, man. Miller was all in. He said, either way, they catch me or they don't. Man, see, that's just stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just stupid mentality to have, losing all that money. You imagine how much money. Look, check this out. You imagine how much money Jarrell Miller lost by not fighting Anthony Joshua? And by the way Anthony Joshua looked against Andy Ruiz, how do you perceive Jarrell Miller looking against Anthony Joshua on that night? He could have potentially became the unified heavyweight world champion. And he himself could have been getting the next bag to fight Anthony Joshua in a rematch. That could have been Jarrell Miller. He could have damn solidified his championship legacy at heavyweight in boxing, defeating Anthony Joshua and getting another bag and potentially fighting him in Saudi Arabia too. If he could knock him out or beat him, he blew it. He fucking blew it, dog. He blew that shit. Hey, tell me what y'all think about Keith Thurman. This is my last topic, the welterweight division, right? I couldn't leave up out of here without giving Terrence Crawford a big shout out. I had to give Terrence Crawford a big shout out, y'all. He did his damn thing. And if you was curious about, Sean Porter and what he had to say about the fight, I will tell you pretty much to go check out I guess the Porter podcast or whatever it's called. I'm not totally sure just yet, but check out the Porter podcast. All right. Check that out. The future of the welterweight division is incredible. And I've been saying this for quite some time about Crawford moving up. It's getting to a point right now. I'm liking the process of elimination right now when it comes to the welterweight division, because now we have the Errol Spence fans who are re-entering the conversation to make it all about Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Sean Porter ain't in the way no more. But in my opinion, Terrence Crawford proved just what I said, on that people are underestimating his strength. And he was motherfucking manhandling damn Sean Porter. And that's pretty much what I said. I say he's stronger than what you think. You won't be able to make that determination because I've seen him in person several times. I've seen him wrestling with his people on 7 different venues. He has that mentality where his sons compete in wrestling. So Terrence Crawford is physically stronger than people give him credit for, people. And I said that was going to be shown against Sean Porter, and it was. Now him being behind, I have the scorecards, people, if you want to see it. They had Crawford ahead. It's becoming a trend with this scorecard bullshit. People are using that for whatever reason, knowing the camera is fixated on them, and they have mics that can pick up the very minute damn sound and audio and shit. Seriously. I seen that shit go down the Gervonta Davis fight with Mario Barrios, and I didn't think he was behind. It just happened again with Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford. And Terrence Crawford was asking, like, I'm behind? He said, how? So he goes out there and stops Sean Porter. I had Terrence Crawford winning that fight regardless if he stopped him, period. If it would have went to 12, it would have been a beating. That's what I like Terrence Crawford as being the best welterweight and one of the best boxers in the sport right now because he has a different switch. Terrence Crawford has that dogmatic switch in him. Very, very smart fighter, dog. What is the conversation like? The debates aren't that difficult when you talk about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. The debates aren't that difficult when Sean Porter is saying he had a more difficult time with Terrence Crawford than Errol Spence. Of course he did, because he got knocked down twice and he didn't finish it to the final bell, dog. All the hype, all the conversation, the hype. Errol Spence is hype. He has to prove it to me he can go in there and beat Terrence Crawford. But the good thing about this entire freaking potential fight, this fantasy fight, the good thing about this shit is they're in the same division for now. But that's about it. That's the only positive thing I have to say. They still in the same division for now. Ugas has the WBA. They still in the same division. What I appreciate, though, is the fact that I'm hearing news, just like I mentioned, Terrence Crawford does not need Errol Spence for his career. So move up to 54 and try to go for another division. Challenge yourself. And that's what he does. Terrence Crawford moving up to 54. Leave Errol Spence behind, bro. Separate yourself. He's chasing you anyway. Don't nobody mention Errol Spence unless they mention Terrence Crawford. It's no debate. This shit is so simple. You can't sit up here and use the same terminology. Let's compare resumes. And the first thing they bring up, he went in the backyard with Kell Brook. He defeated Sean. Oh, what? Did you say Sean Porter? Oh, well, one thing I love about that is that y'all whitewash motherfucking Kell Brook and say he was done when he fought Terrence Crawford. But yet, when Sean Porter comes in here, he's this damn power horse. He's gonna bring you the energy. That's Sean Porter. Showtime Sean Porter. He's gonna give you what you want. Y'all sleeping on Sean Porter. He's gonna give you. If Terrence Crawford stay on the inside, he might get knocked out. For real? For real? So he goes and stops Sean Porter for the first time, and it's crickets. It's like, well, hey, let me start talking about my boy Errol and build him back up, because right now in this universe, freaking Terrence Crawford, he got the juice. In this welterweight universe, on the block, Terrence Crawford got the juice. Y'all know that. Y'all know that to be true. Terrence Crawford got the juice. Who got the juice? Terrence Crawford got the juice, y'all. The fact that people was on YouTube talking about, well, let's see what happened, and when Errol Spence gets in the ring. How once again, we're prognosticating something that was put out in the media that never ever materialized. It was just all freaking agitprop from freaking Errol Spence. He said he was gonna get in the ring, and I was saying I hope he get in that motherfucker sober, because the last time I seen him, he jumped in the ring with Sean Porter, and he was intoxicated, and he was like, I want the shot. And Sean Porter, okay, you just want to take away my shine. All right, I'll fight next. He didn't fight him next. So then Terrence Crawford, he wins. He shuts the place down. They tell him, Hey, what do you have to say about Errol Spence? Oh, that boy was here. I thought he'd only attend my fights. Errol Spence done got up and walked out the arena, bro. Y'all know I'm telling. You know I'm speaking facts, man. Errol Spence got up and left. What is all the talk about you going into the ring? That would have been the greatest opportunity. People, listen to me. That would have been the greatest opportunity for Errol Spence to step in the ring with Terrence Crawford to take his shine away. If you want to step in the ring and see how the crowd feel about either fighter, Errol Spence stepping in the ring with Terrence Crawford coming off a knockout victory of a common opponent of Errol Spence, you would have you would have pretty much received the reaction from the crowd on how they feel about that fight. It would have been cheers. Yeah. This is what we've been waiting on. This is what we've been waiting on. Hell yeah. Or it would have been boos. I'm thinking that the crowd would have cheered that shit on big time. I think they would have lost their damn mind. If Terrence Crawford, the mood that he was in, coming off that damn knockout, he would have been up in Errol Spence's face. Errol Spence would have been in his face. They would have been talking their trash. The damn cameras would have been there. The mics would have been green. And people would have, they would have been listening. People, the fans and attendants would have been listening. The millions watching would have been listening. It would have gave us everything we look for when it comes to potentially seeing them fight in 2030. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. But like I say, I would love to see Terrence Crawford move up to 154 and fight somebody with a belt or whatever, whoever has the belts. It's scuttlebutt out there that Jermell Charlo and Brian Castano will rematch. Okay, cool. I'm definitely interested in that fight. But also I'm more interested if Terrence Crawford can move up there to 154 and attempt to pick up another strap. Brother Boxing Talk, what's good? Salute, brother. World Combat Sports. Salute to you, my brother. I think Bud should wait at 47 for Tank. Why would he do such a thing, that D-Ray? Why would Bud wait on Gervonta Davis, who just had one fight at 140 so far? That's going to be, I'm talking about a tall order for Tank Davis. A tall order to do that shit. And then just when I say that's going to be a tall order, I was saying the same shit that I don't think Tank is moving up to 140 anytime soon. And he moves up and faces Mario Barrios, a much bigger, taller fighter, and he stops him. When it comes down to betting against Tank, I can't motherfucking bet against Tank, man. Until it comes down to if he's moving up in the next 6 months to 147 to challenge someone like Crawford. Man, come on, bro. Listen, if Tank really wanted to fuck the game up, I don't know what y'all think about this, but you tell me. What if Tank can get the WBA? Because most of his titles has been WBA. What if Tank can go to 147 and somehow, some way get a WBA shot at Ugas? Like, Ugas is not a punk, man. But how do you feel? Will Ugas just outbox the shit out of Tank? I don't know, man. I don't see that. Like, it's hard for me to say the cat's an outbox Tank. I done seen him fight so many times. I seen him spar. I don't see it, bro. Like, this, it's certain fighters like Crawford and Tank, man. If that shit was to happen, that'd be crucial, dog. Seriously. That'd be a crucial fight. But nah, hell no. Crawford, do not wait for no Tank. Do not listen to D-Ray. Go ahead and do what you got to do at 140, man. 154. Bud looked better against Spence. Best competition. Period. It's documented on the camera. Talk your shit, Andrew. Talk your shit, bro. I'm still getting the echoes out here that they want to look. The Errol Spence fans, they want to build him up. They don't know how to no more. Like, he keeps letting them down so much. The only thing they can talk about is what they believe he'll do to Terrence Crawford, or what Terrence Crawford can't do to Errol Spence. But Errol Spence is letting people down by not owning up to the wolf tickets that he was selling. He know damn well he said he was getting in the motherfucking ring, dog. Why did you not take advantage of the moments to the shaking your head? Say, no. Man, I got to do this. I got to go see Bud. Fuck that. I got to go see Bud. Get in that motherfucker. Go face to face. Mano a mano. Talk your shit. So us content creators, we can go out here and make 1,000 motherfucking videos. Oh shit, they finally met. Who said what? It was a golden moment. Missed, man. All because, man, I don't know what's going on with Spence when it comes to that shit, dog. Like, Spence, you had your golden moment to take away from Crawford. That was your time to G-check the shit out of Crawford a little bit in his moment after the fight. You could have took away that moment by hopping in the ring and say, yeah, you thought I was going somewhere. I'm here right now. What about me and you? What we talking about? The fans want to see it. We want to see it. Let's make the fight. It'd be good promo. But of course, they have all the other paperwork to get taken care of. But for TV, for freaking media, it would have been awesome, man. It would have been awesome. But whatever you do, bud, do not listen to D-Ray talking about wait for Tank at 47. Don't you dare do that shit right there. David on deck, what's good? Say Crawford beat Spence. I mean, that's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's my goal, of course. You know, I'm just a Bud Crawford fan and supporter. There's nothing wrong with being a fan. No matter what names are created, what cliche terms are made just from supporting the fighter. But I can tell you this: I truly assume that Errol Spence fans are pretty agitated right now. You know what I'm saying? They're inflamed that they're not getting more actions from Errol Spence so they can talk shit about Terrence Crawford. The fact that he shook his head and walked out of the arena, they was pissed. I could name you about 15 channels that was pissed. What the fuck? This nigga's supposed to get in the ring and give us some motherfucking content. Breaking news. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford face to face. The fight has happened. Breaking news. Crawford, Spence almost come to blows in the ring. Breaking news. Crawford knocks out Sean Porter. Almost knocks out Spence in the post fight. I'm serious, dog. David said, what do you think about Teofimo and Kambosos? I'm going for Teofimo Lopez. I believe he is the better fighter. Okay. Though they have only 2 knockouts separating them, right? Kambosos ain't no chump, bro. But we haven't seen him in big fights such as Teofimo Lopez. We know Teofimo has power. We do. We know Teofimo has power. I need to call them up. I wonder if he even answer the phone, y'all. I'm gonna do y'all one. I'm gonna call up Teo's dad and see can he give me some content over the phone. People, yeah, I would do that shit. Hold on for a minute.
program, please text me or leave me a message. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, just so you know, I went capping, man. Did y'all hear that? I got the voicemail. You know what I'm saying? I got the voicemail. Damn. I'm gonna call back in a little bit though, and see what's popping. Now, Arrow the one waiting on Tank. If it's a fight I don't want to see is Errol Spence and Gervonta Davis. The reason why I don't want to see that fight because stylistically, their styles make for good entertainment, right? But if Tank goes out there and knock out Errol, I think his fan club here on YouTube may never do another live again. I don't know. That's a dangerous fight for Errol Spence to go in there against Tank. Very dangerous. Because if you think you're going to sit up here and come forward and try to use all that strength against Tank, he's used to shit like that. Like, you got to be careful about Tank playing possum sometime. Like, that's a dangerous motherfucking possum. I'm just saying. That's a dangerous motherfucking possum. When Tank played possum, man, you better be very, very aware. It's a trap hidden in there somewhere. I just think the styles would be more so less entertaining to me, you know, especially when it comes to the same type of progression throughout the fight. Like Errol coming forward, trying to dominate the smaller Tank hitting Errol with some counter shots, digging to the body, and Errol trying to prove that the shots don't hurt. And he's continuing to try to walk Tank down and before he gets slept. It's highly possible that Errol that Tank Davis can sleep Errol Spence. It's possible. Seriously, it's possible. I believe it. It's possible. Because one thing I know about Tank Davis, he can goddamn hunt. We all know Terrence Crawford can hunt. Both of them motherfuckers can hunt. I would like to see more of boxing IQ wise between both him and Tank. Very, very high. I would want to see Terrence Crawford versus Tank Davis before Tank Davis versus Errol Spence. That's just me. Errol, the one waiting on Tank. If he waits for Tank, then so be it. Kudos to him. I don't think it's a good move. Real talk, I just don't think it's a good move to wait on any of the up-and-coming fighters. I mean, what do they have to gain except the name? You know what I'm saying? What do they have to gain without the except the name? That's all I'm saying. What is it? I see this new article out now. Oh shit! Shots are fired. What's this? Okay, shout out to Team Haney, shouty. Bill Haney wants Teofimo Lopez. Let me snag corrected. Bill Haney wants Teofimo and Dad to come out of bushes to fight Devin after the Kambosos fight. Once again, Bill out here fucking grinding, dog. As a black man, a black father, to him as a black father, you know, doing all that that road work for his son. Hey man, salute to you, man. You're a real one out here. You're a real king out here, bro. Trainer Bill Haney wants Teofimo Lopez and his dad, Teo Sr., to step up and step up to the plate and face Devin Haney after the two take care of business next fight. Bill wants Sr. and Teo to stop hiding from Devin, 26-0, 15 knockouts, so they can battle for the Undisputed Lightweight Championship by February 2022. Unfortunately, Teo and his dad seem more interested in dropping the belts and going up to 140 to take on undisputed light welterweight champion Josh Taylor next. IBF, WBA, WBO lightweight champion Teofimo 16-0, 12 knockouts, has a defense this Saturday night against George Kambosos, whereas Haney is defending his WBC 135-pound title against Jojo Diaz December 4th. He wants Teofimo to come off the bushes. If Lopez is successful against Kambosos and when Devin is successful against Jojo, both Teo and his dad ran out of the place to hide. So tell them bitches to come out of the bushes. We're looking for you, said Bill Haney to Fight Hype on him wanting to set up a fight between Devin Haney and Lopez. That's the only fight next. What the fuck you mean, said Bill Haney. It makes it clear the only fight we want next. For Devin is just Bill be talking his shit, boy. That's one thing Bill be doing, talking his shit. You know how difficult it is to have fathers like, Michael Williams Sr. and his son, to have Who's Your Hot Tucker and his dad, Bill Haney, in the game as long as he's been in the game. Even Teal's dad and his pops. You have so many people with their parents attached to their career. That's tough, man, getting promo out there and having people trying to see who you are. When you talk about two guys that are at the point of superstardom, where it can go, where it can be for truly undisputed, that's Lopez and Haney. If you heard Eddie Hearn and Devin say, we can make it happen. If Bob Arum doesn't feel that Devin is worth whatever money, which I don't know, we've never talked about money. He said $5 million or something like that. We never talked about money with him. But if it's comfortable with sitting in a chair, letting the zone, Eddie Hearn and Haney to come up with the money to have T.O. come over, then kick back, you don't need to worry about what Devin is going to get paid. Worry about Teofimo Lopez because evidently Aaron has a history of fighters that complain about getting paid. So don't worry about what Devin is going to get paid, said Teofimo Lopez. Over here, where he's at, because he hasn't got paid anything of significance thus far dealing with Top Rank. So this is one of those monetary back and forth, pity pat type of arguments. There's never going to be settled until this fight comes a bit closer than what it is. And we have really two outstanding fights that's out there with Devin Haney and Jojo Diaz. And also we have Teofimo Lopez reigning defending versus George Kambosos Jr. for the titles. Let me see what else y'all got before I bounce, man. I want to wish each and every one of you a happy Thanksgiving. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. A happy Thanksgiving. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Oh, yes, we do. I'm going to say it one more time. A happy Thanksgiving. There you go. That's your happy Thanksgiving serenade from the one and only WCS, man. One thing I can tell you, go out there and eat to your heart's content. And when you hear that burp, that means stop, okay? A burp doesn't free up more space for you to drink a soda and eat some more food and say, I'm good. Let me just take 5 minutes, and then I want to go back and get me some of that goddamn honey glazed ham, shawty, and give me some chitlins with that hot sauce, okay? That's all I'm saying. Collard greens with the mac, all right? That's all we talking about right now. Give me some dressing with that giblet gravy on it, shawty. Them hot, fresh rolls out the oven. Man, what y'all doing for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is damn near 2 hours away, bro. What are y'all doing? Y'all cooking up some Franks, motherfucking pork and beans and damn hot dogs? Well, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, y'all. Appreciate you. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I am out.